The mind is quiet for a moment, then it returns. A conversation replays. A decision re-emerges. A future scenario forms. Uninvited, nothing new is happening, and yet the thinking continues. This isn't curiosity. It isn't planning. It isn't problem solving. It's the feeling of a mind that won't stand down, even when there's no clear threat to respond to. Overthinking is often misunderstood as excessive intelligence or excessive worry. In reality, it is neither. Overthinking is not about thinking too much. It is about thinking without resolution. The mind returns to the same material repeatedly, searching for certainty, control, or closure. It replays the past, anticipates the future, and fills quiet moments with internal noise. What makes overthinking exhausting is not the content of the thoughts, but the lack of completion. The loop never closes. Many people assume that if they just think long enough, clarity will eventually arrive. But overthinking rarely produces insight. It produces repetition, and repetition without progress drains mental energy. To understand overthinking, it's important to understand the mind's original function. The human brain evolved to detect threats, anticipate outcomes, and reduce uncertainty. In environments where danger was immediate and physical, this system was efficient. A problem appeared. Attention focused. Action followed. Resolution came quickly. Modern threats are different. They are abstract, prolonged, and often unresolved. Social uncertainty, identity questions, career ambiguity, emotional tension. None of these offer clear endpoints. The mind, designed to resolve problems, continues working long after useful thinking has ended. Overthinking is what happens when the brain detects uncertainty but cannot find a clear action that resolves it. This is where overthinking quietly connects to emotional intelligence. When emotions are unclear or unrecognized, the mind attempts to compensate. It tries to think its way out of feelings it does not fully understand. An unacknowledged emotion becomes a cognitive loop. Anxiety becomes analysis. Regret becomes rumination. Uncertainty becomes mental rehearsal. The mind keeps searching because it hasn't been given accurate emotional information. In this sense, overthinking is not a flaw. It is an adaptation, one that no longer works well in modern conditions. Overthinking often carries a hidden promise. If I think enough, I can prevent something bad from happening. This belief is rarely conscious, but it is powerful. The mind confuses mental activity with control. It mistakes rehearsal for preparation. It believes vigilance equals safety. But constant mental monitoring does not reduce uncertainty. It amplifies it. Each pass through the loop reinforces the sense that something remains unresolved. The mind stays activated, scanning for what it might have missed. Rest becomes difficult, not because there is danger, but because the mind does not feel finished. Healthy thinking is flexible. It moves, adapts, and concludes. Overthinking is rigid. It circles the same material with increasing intensity and diminishing returns. People experiencing it often describe difficulty falling asleep, mental replay after conversations, decision paralysis, a sense of internal pressure without urgency. Importantly, overthinking often happens in moments meant for rest. When external demands drop, internal noise rises. Silence becomes uncomfortable, not because it is empty, but because it allows unresolved thoughts to surface. Here's the paradox most people miss. The mind doesn't overthink because it enjoys it. It overthinks because it doesn't know how to stop safely. Overthinking is not only cognitive, it is physiological. When the nervous system remains slightly activated for long periods, the brain stays alert, even in the absence of immediate threat. Thoughts speed up. Attention narrows. The mind prepares for action that never comes. This creates a feedback loop. Mental activity keeps the body alert. Bodily alertness keeps the mind active. Neither side stands down first. This is why telling someone to just stop thinking never works. The mind is responding to a state of readiness in the body, not a conscious decision to worry. Overthinking is often a signal that the system has lost its ability to shift into rest. Many people attempt to escape overthinking through distraction. Screens, noise, constant input. This provides temporary relief, not resolution. Distraction suppresses the loop, but it does not close it. When stimulation ends, the thoughts return, often with more intensity. True relief does not come from silencing the mind by force. It comes from allowing the system to complete what it has been holding open. This requires awareness, not effort. Overthinking eases when uncertainty is acknowledged rather than resisted. When emotions are named rather than analyzed. When limits are accepted rather than argued with. When the mind is allowed to stop working without punishment. Resolution is not always an answer. Sometimes it is recognition. This does not have a solution right now. That recognition signals safety. And safety allows the nervous system to disengage. Modern life offers endless unresolved inputs, news without closure, goals without finish lines, identities in flux. The mind is rarely allowed to complete cycles. As a result, overthinking becomes normalized. People begin to believe that a busy mind is simply the cost of modern life. But chronic mental looping is not neutral. Over time, it reshapes attention, mood, and emotional resilience. The cost is subtle, cumulative, and often invisible until exhaustion sets in. When the mind never fully rests, the strain doesn't remain mental. The body adapts. The nervous system recalibrates to constant alertness, even in moments meant for recovery. And understanding overthinking eventually leads to a deeper question, not about thoughts, but about what prolonged mental activity does to the body itself. Now that we understand how overthinking leads to a deeper question, make sure to watch the next episode 5. What happens to the nervous system when we never slow down? If this reflection resonated, take a moment to pause before moving on. If you value long-form explorations of human behavior, consider liking this video so others can find it. Subscribe for future episodes of wellnesshubnest and share below, when does your mind find it hardest to rest?